Hey guys, it's Mark here from Property Growth Strategist. So today, I'm just gonna talk about why and how Warren Buffett's famous quote of "When others are greedy, be fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy." Now, this quote has helped me to turn my life around in the last 2 years, especially in my property investment journey. Right, so it has taught me to seek out good opportunities when the market or when the news, the Straits Times, the Business Times tell you that the property market is actually not doing well. In fact, this is actually the best time to be looking out for good deals, right? So, why do I say this? Imagine this. Today you have a flat that you want to sell, a house that you want to sell, right? You tell your agent that, hey, I want to put this up to sell for $800,000, 800K, right? And what happens is that in the next weekend, after listing your property, you have like maybe 10 to 15 buyers that come to your home. Now, each of them, or some of them rather, they make you offers of 700,000 or 710,000, right? So it's quite a far stretch from your expected target selling price. Now, will you actually lower your selling price? Right, so before you answer me that, let me give you another scenario. What if today the same thing happens? You put your property up, in the first weekend there's maybe one couple that comes to view your house, a husband and wife, right? They make you an offer, a similar offer of maybe 710 or 720,000. So comparing these two scenarios, which one do you think you'll be more willing to drop your price for? Scenario 1, where there were 10 to 15 buyers coming, or when there is only one buyer that comes to view your house? Logically speaking, chances are you would probably be more inclined to reduce your price. Of course not to 720k, but maybe you would counter offer with something like 750, something close, but you'll be more willing to actually drop your prices, right? So think about this. In a new launch, the developers are like sellers yourself, but for them, they have hundreds or even thousands of units to sell. So when their show flat is actually empty, when you go to a show flat that looks like a ghost town, a lot of people might think, hey, there's nobody here, is this actually a good property to buy, to invest in, right? You'll be thinking that to yourself. But think again. If there are no people at the show flat, would the developers be more inclined or less inclined to actually give you a better price, or give you a different payment scheme, a deferred payment scheme, something that is beneficial to you as a consumer? Which one do you think is more possible? Right, think about it. Fourth quarter of 2016. This was when the property market was slow, things weren't moving very fast, the sales was also declining, right? So this was actually when I decided that, hey, maybe I should start looking around for a property, because of the cool market. This is where there would be opportunities to find. So I started visiting show flats together with my wife, like many of you, just going there, taking a walk, trying to understand what this project has, what are the prices, right? What are the amenities nearby, schools, etc., etc., So after doing that, right, true enough, after a couple of months in March of 2017, 3 months later, right, the government reduced the cooling measures, or rather implemented an easing measure. They reduced the additional seller stamp duty period from 4 years to 3 years. Some of you might ask, it's only a difference of 1 year. But think again, what this means is that for a property that was bought before March 2017, right, these buyers had to wait 4 years later to actually sell off their property to make a profit. But today, if I buy it in April of 2017, I could sell the property earlier than them. And this was exactly what happened when my wife and I purchased our first private property in District 19. So that is exactly how Warren Buffett's quote actually spurred me to take action when the market was actually down, when others were actually fearful. They weren't sure, they were all waiting on news from the government, and they weren't prepared to actually take action when there was an opportunity that presented itself. So today, are you still sitting on the fence? Are you still sitting on the sidelines just waiting without doing your homework? If you are, you probably want to consider doing something, because in the recent times, some of you might have read, in the Channel News Asia or Straits Times saying that the market is actually slowing down because of the recent government cooling measures in July of 2018, right, where they reduced the loan to value ratio and increased the additional buyer stamp duty. So, if you haven't saw my other video where I shared about the 5 critical factors that help me to decide, what kind of a property is suitable for investment, check it out in the link below, right, somewhere in the description, right? So this is Mark from Property Growth Strategist, and have a good evening. I'll see you soon.